1917 is the latest film from English director Sam Mendes, and I've been looking forward to it for quite a while now. I haven't seen the majority of his work, but from what I've seen, I'd say it's fair to say he has talent. American Beauty is one of the greatest films ever made, and Skyfall is an entertaining and well-made spy thriller. Spectre was a fucking mess and ruined what could have been one of the greatest Bond villains. But to be fair, it seems like the film's faults were mainly due to time constraints and studio interference. Now we have 1917, which seems like a purely personal project for Sam Mendes, free of any behind-the-scenes BS and worthy of showing his true skills as a director and first-time writer. And with the concept alone, with the film being shot as if it's all in one continuous take, it would certainly seem like it would be the case going in. But 1917 is okay. To go over positives first, Sam Mendes handles the task of directing this ambitious concept fairly well. Everything flows smoothly and all the performances were pretty great. The cinematography was beautiful, but a little understated by Roger Deakins. It seems like they were going for more of a tracking long take rather than a lot of wide takes of scenery. However, when you do end up getting those scenic views in the film, they look pretty damn good. The blocking was also very well done and made every shot look organic, but professional. Probably my biggest positive for the film has to be the production design. Pretty much every single place our characters are in looks just as grimy and ugly as it would have back then. Seriously, I was there. If you look closely in the photo, you can see enhanced image black right there. A specific situation involving rats in the film made me appreciate just how much detail went into every movement and background piece in the film. Because of this, the terrifying world that our characters were in felt just as barren and hopeless as it was back then. No, seriously, test me. The image, I was right there. Now, with that being said, I have some gripes with the film. My biggest one being, there's a very obvious formula in this thing. One that the one-shot gimmick tries to hide, but doesn't do a very good job of hiding. The script. Everyone was just so one-dimensional and boring, that when a character with an ounce of energy came onto screen, it made all the other boring scenes in the film stick out like sore thumbs. This was the same problem with another film in the same vein, Dunkirk. However, that film was much better because of the fact that it didn't really care about spoon-feeding you information on the characters' past lives or plugging in useless filler scenes where the characters just talk to each other about their past lives at home. It instead fully focused on giving you an intense experience with memorable sequences and a tight and easy-to-follow narrative. Also, the directing in that movie is just amazing. Yeah, there was a girl back in high school. She was so funny, man. Oh, yeah. I remember, man. She's the one that farted in class. Oh yeah. That was so funny, man. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I just don't give a shit about the fucking girl who farted in class. It's unneeded. I don't give a shit. This is where the fact that this is Sam Mendes' first writing credit really shows. There seems to be a strong lack of understanding when it comes to how to balance the film correctly. Yes, it is okay to make your audience care about the characters in a film, but no, it is not okay to attempt to do that in the laziest way possible. And on that note, possibly the biggest disappointment in this film is its concept of being one take. Please, can someone tell me what the point of making the film all in one take was? And don't tell me it was to keep the intensity and paranoia of the war, because most of the film is just filled up with boring, pointless talking, or the same character running away from shooting for like the 100th time. Like seriously, those two things probably made up at least 75% of the film, which, in a 2-hour film, is not doing itself any favors. That's not to say the concept of having a film be one continuous take can't be done correctly though. Birdman is one of my favorite films of all time, and has that same concept. However, its concept has a place in the film and makes sense in terms of its narrative. And even if you're not going to go that far, at least don't have filler scenes where characters are walking in a straight line for 4 minutes, for nothing but to waste time.
That way.
You sure?
Yep.
You're surely sure.
To the left, to the left. To the straight, to the straight. To the right, to the right. I always know that's how I remember how to get home. That song.
That was a good burp.
That was a burp.
The music wasn't great either. It was either too intrusive or added nothing to the scene. Thomas Newman is a talented composer, but his score was just not the right fit for this type of movie. The film also just doesn't seem to do either of its goals right. It seems to either want to make an emotional impact on the audience with powerful character moments, or make an insane action thriller with its crazy ambitious concept. And aside from maybe like 3 scenes here and there, it just doesn't really do either in any way that exceeds average. This is what leads me to think that the film would have just been better off not being one continuous take the entire time. Instead, save the long takes for when it really matters, like this scene, and this scene. To bring up another example, Children of Men. That film wasn't one continuous take the entire time, but when those long takes did show up, they mattered so much and enhanced the film experience. The fact that this film was edited regularly made the long takes all the more impactful, which is exactly what this film needed. Just let this be a lesson to everyone that long takes don't automatically make your film good, okay?
That is a big surprise. Thank you very
shit.
much.
Well, I mean,
Can I
that's
just
Best
say
Director.
there's
That's
not
not
one
fucking-
direct. Thank you so much. This is
over The
a
Irishman?
huge thing.
Over Marriage
This is a
Story?
huge thing for this movie.
What
It
the
opens
fuck?